I mean, I think, and this is one thing I try to say, I mean, I've always said this too, I'm a big advocate of pursuing what you're passionate about, and things will figure it out. And I'm talking about like truly finding your passion and purpose, and like that's not easy to find. It doesn't just fall in your lap. You got to try a lot of things. You got to do a lot of things. Like, well, I don't maybe not like that as much. Don't feel as aligned, but truly pursuing something with your heart, I think people can see it. And I think if more people did that, it just brings out the natural creativity like we were when we were kids, like that imagination and curiosity and the willingness to push and create more things. And I think as even just kind of our education system, I think we might have touched on this last time too, we sometimes like take that out of kids and like through college, and we are a little more like, I'd say, progressive in that sense now in terms of being more open-minded, but we still are not fully enabling of like that creativity, of fostering that creativity in people and in youth. But I think we can get there. Again,
Energy. I feel like in terms of energy, pursuing one's passion, there's that level of energy to sustain the passion.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking of like a path. If you're trailblazing a path and you have potential energy and you're going through and you have kinetic energy, you keep kind of going. Whereas if you're not on a path that you're not passionate about, you don't have as much potential energy, mm-hmm. which then is transferred to kinetic energy to...
Yeah, I think like you can maintain more momentum when you really care about something.
Momentum. There's another great word.
Yeah, where, right, if you don't have a path, like you'd be more adverting if there's a block, right? Like you're like, well, I better stop, but I think also in the same sense, again, from the, pressures of perhaps even society. I mean, it's interesting to like look at this perspectively from, I don't know how old your parents are, but my stepfather's a juvie judge, and kind of like his era is like, you're a doctor, you're an attorney.
Yeah, there's like 10 things.
There's like, and
teacher,
that is making it in life.
Police officer,
you know what I mean?
Lawyer, doctor.
Yeah, but that was it. Like, and I think we're way more open-minded now. I mean, people are creating jobs. I mean, even what I'm doing, I never would have assumed I'd be doing what I'm doing, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Couldn't imagine doing anything else. I mean, not really. I actually have a lot of things I want to do, but but it's just like there's no job description for what I do. Like, it's created. And I think that's what's so neat and what really excites me when I hear people talk about them wanting to start a project, start a nonprofit, start a company. I get excited to like talk through that with people, because I think there's so many pathways to make an impact, and it's keeping the focus and maintaining that momentum, but it can be hard. Like, it doesn't mean everything's just like, whatever the saying is, roses and whatever. It can be hard, and sometimes you do question yourself, and sometimes it's like, well, what if this happens and all this crashes down and this and that? And I think where you have to rely on that is just like the strong mental clarity, one, understanding your purpose, why you're doing it, and what your end goal is, and don't just kind of wash out the rest. Like, people will have their opinions. I've had people tell me, as I told you before, oh, doing the art stuff's stupid. What does that do for the environment? And I'm like, well, yeah, the artistic sculpture does not help the corals, but what it helps is bring awareness to the point where we're funding restoration through that art. So it's actually helping rebuild corals, and giving another really way to connect with people, because that's the biggest thing, is if we don't change people and how they, again, have a relationship with the environment, we're going to just be facing this continuously until we push it into the legitimate ground, So you have to start somewhere, and I think that's what's inspiring to me, again, about the art side. But yeah.